please. Also joining us is Savio Rodriguez, the founder and editor-in-chief of the Goa Chronicle, who is joining us from Goa. Savio, thank you for taking the time to speak with us this evening. We are, of course, looking at an extremely diverse set of cardinals from around 70 countries. We know 2/3 of the 133 need to be in agreement for the same candidate to become the Pope. Given the wars and the trade tariffs and the instability we're seeing currently globally, do you think this will have an influence on the vote? And do you think it will potentially extend this conclave because there is so much riding on this decision?
Well, we have to look at the conclave in two parts. One is the spiritual aspect, the aspect of faith, where millions of Catholics around the world are hoping that the power of the Holy Spirit inspires the cardinals to select the Holy Father that would lead the Catholic Church in what I see and what many Catholics see as a very conflicting times around the world. So that is a matter of faith. Then there is a matter of the institution. And like all institutions in the world, religious or non-religious, there's always going to be hierarchical structures, there are always going to be dogmatic structures, and there are always going to be some level of politics that goes on within those structures. And that is something that might also see a face as far as the election of the Pope is concerned. But having said that, what I do believe, and what my heart tells me, is that I believe that the Pope that will be selected by the prayers of millions of Catholics around the world will be somebody who would take forward Pope Francis's vision and the vision that Jesus left with his disciples several years ago. And that is the mission that Pope Francis had. So while you have the politics of the Catholic Church that will try and find its way to seep in, because for the last several years Pope Francis ensured that the politics of the Catholic Church, that has been something that they have been allegedly involved in for a long time, he tried to clean up the system. And that cleaning up of the system was not really well accepted by many people. In fact, some sections of the leaders within the Catholic Church believe that Pope Francis was too honest for the role in which he was ordained for. And that's where the problem is even now. So I believe there is a lobby within the Catholic Church that wants to bring the grandeur, the business side of the institution back again to the forefront, while it still continues to have the faith, propagating. What Pope Francis did was to focus on the propagation of the faith and bring the church closer to the people, rather than the people come to the church. And that was something that was distinctively different. So I hope and I pray, and like me, there are many Catholics around the world who are praying for the Holy Father to be a leader, to lead the Catholics, the Church at this point of time, which are conflicting times in the world today. There are many temptations, there are many deviations from the Catholic faith and the Catholic teachings, the Catholic doctrine. And many a times the people of the Catholic faith are led astray because they do not have a good shepherd that leads the flock at the head. And Pope Francis was one of that. And I believe the power of the Holy Spirit and the prayers of many Catholics will be answered with a Pope that will lead this church in the modern times as it is right now.
Yes, Savio, absolutely. We are, of course, continuing to show you live visuals from inside the Sistine Chapel, where the solemn oath, the oath of secrecy, is being taken by all 133 cardinals. We'll bring you now to that.
Advet et ec sancta de Evangelia que manu mea tango.
extra omnes.
We are now, of course, seeing the live shots of everybody leaving the Sistine Chapel. The only people who will be inside are those cardinals taking part in this vote to decide the next pope. In a short amount of time, we will see the doors to the Sistine Chapel within the Vatican closing just after everybody leaves. The procession of people walking out. Of course, in contrast, the procession of the cardinals walking in from the Pauline Chapel took place a short while ago. There were then prayers and then the solemn oath which we have just seen being conducted by each and every of the 133 cardinals who were taking part in this conclave from across 70 countries, a truly diverse vote, which may take days. In history, it has taken weeks, months, and in one case, years to decide, but we expect within 2 to 3 days, the next pope will be announced. To make you aware of how we will know, there will be around 4 votes taking place each day. The ballots from each vote will be burnt. If there is black smoke, then that signals that no pope has been voted for and no pope has received the required 2/3 vote. If there is white smoke, that means that a pope has been chosen. We look through the doors now into the Sistine Chapel. You can see red on either side. These are the cardinals, the 133 cardinals, who over the next days will be deliberating and deciding on who Pope Francis's replacement will be. And there we have it. The Sistine Chapel doors have been shut. They will remain closed now until that white smoke comes from the chimney in the Vatican with the bells ringing. Of course, the process is a private one. No media, no political influence, no technological influence.